Right, you guys, time for some therapy. It has been a while, thankfully, with my team going really well and sort of not too much really going super wrong. And the last few games, especially that first one with Reynolds going down for those who have him, and then this game here, there were a lot of shockers in amongst some really high scores for a bunch of guys here up top. And a special shout out to Scott Sorensen, who has played a fair bit of edge across his career, and then he got turned into a middle forward off the bench, and he's excelled in that role as well. And then he's come out, and this game here, he was absolute superstar. He was at 100 and got downgraded to 94, so sad news for him. But yeah, I just wanted to say a shout out to him. He's owned by a very low percentage of people there, but has made 56k, especially since moving to this edge role. He's been an over 40 guy each and every week, so well done to him. Jerome Luai, hey? Has he cemented his spot in the six after that game? Does it take one game when you're the incumbent? It might do. And interesting news for Hines anyway. If that's the case, then you'd expect Hines in 14 or missing the squad, but you'd have to say 14 at this stage. Or at least plays in a couple of the games anyway. But Panthers over the Roosters. The Roosters are they done? I don't know, man. They look really bad. And then they lose Manu. So the news with Manu, guys, if you look at NRL Physio, sounds like it's that garden foot, where they just go pop and they just lose it straight over the in the low ankle strain is what they speak about. He says it usually hurts more than injury, but I think it's likely just to we're slotting him in EMG 8 or EMG 4, in 4 actually, and looping him over the next 2 weeks, guys, and then we're holding him. I think that's all you can do with Joey. Likely he's out the 1 week. There's no point them bringing him back next week. And then they have their bye in round 13 as well. So that's where it's going to be for him. He's still that best centre option. Him, Lem, Bird. Even in this poor team, he's still been great. He was still scoring okay in this one. Wasn't his best, obviously, but yeah, who was scoring well for the Roosters, unless you were making bulk tackles like Nat Butcher down there with 60. But yeah, that's that. Let's go to Cleary now. He was up to 90 and they were giving him some just ridiculous ghosties, and I'm glad they took a couple away. One I think they probably should have kept is his line break. Does anyone else agree that the play at the back, the end of the half, the last play, was a line break? I think it was, but yeah, anyway. I also think Hoskins' one was a line break too. I mean, he obviously fell over after the line, but he got through the line. Yeah, anyway. Cleary, obviously didn't captain him. I had an absolute shocker. This is why it's therapy session. Teddy. Ugh. I wanted to do this game first just because there was so much crap. But yeah, Cleary back in a big way, guys. And really, he was the captaincy option this week. I know a lot of people changed. It's probably about half Hines, half Cleary for those that have both. But yeah, did his job. And it was, you just expect Roosters to be a little bit better. And then you start watching this game, you're like, Roosters are that bad. Like, this is such an easy matchup as a captain. So Cleary did everything. He had one missed tackle. Was the only negative. And you know what he does when he only has the one negative. Last week he had 8 missed tackles. So very good return game from him. Matt Lodge, he's coming on and really doing everything. And he's probably the only forward, him, Nat Butcher, that are really having a red-hot crack and getting in there, running hard, tackling hard. For Lodge, 28 tackles in his 50 minutes, 6 tackle breaks, 4 offloads, 98 metres. So solid effort, especially when they didn't have the ball much at all to get upwards of, close to 100 metres anyway. And the only other guy that was getting good metres was Billy Smith, who we'll speak about in a sec. He was killer, and well done to anyone who slotted him in their side. I say, when are they going to give him a rest? They gave him a 4-minute rest. They were up by 44 or 42 at the time. Like, oh, yeah, okay, you can finally have a rest. Just a wild one. He's just so good, man. He's so good. Nat Butcher, we spoke at him. 60 tackles. Wasn't much else in this game. Victor Radley, same thing. 55 tackles for him. Crichton, 53. Started really slow. I think it was none in 20 minutes. The same as Teddy, of course. But yeah, he had a couple of turnover tackles. Only ran the ball 56 metres. 44 tackles in this one. With an offload, that's that. Tyrone Peachy, if anyone brought him in, a 52 in this one with 2 tries, 2 try assists. So low across the board other than that with a few negatives. But overall, a cracker game for Peach. Billy Smith, he looks the best he has looked in the NRL, I would say. In a team that's going really bad, he has looked awesome. And he did have a bunch of errors in a row, which, apart from that, he looked amazing. It was like 77 minutes of him looking like an incredible centre. 22 tackles, 1 miss, running the footy well. Tackle breaks, try assists, line break assists there. And then just a couple of minutes of just having an absolute shocker. So, yeah, mixing that together. Billy Smith, well done. If you picked him up, it worked out great. And we haven't seen these scores. So if you're looking at him and you go, okay, the team's been really bad. They have a round 13 bye, so you get 2 weeks out of him and then a bye. And he has previous scores of, even when he doesn't get injured, of 15s, 20s, 30 max. Like last year in those bunch of games that he played at the start of the year, he was very poor, and he's come out and gone bang bang. So yeah, if he did it, well done. There was a couple of people that tried to steer towards him if they didn't have the necessary funds to get anyone sort of like 450 up, 430 up, whatever it was. If it was like Flegler was the other option, and then Totola, Billy Smith was next. So if you picked him up, well done. Good stuff. Fisher Harris, 48. He was okay. For those who look at him, that's kind of what you're expecting. He's priced almost according to that. Dylan Edwards, 47. Didn't have to get involved in much to get one try back on the inside there. Brandon Smith, played off the bench, 54 minutes. So with the way this game went, I'm actually pretty happy with his effort, to be honest with you. 40 there. He had a turnover tackle. He had an offload in his first touch of the game. I was like, okay, let's go, Smith. Let's get into it. One long kick, ran the ball a tiny bit. Again, they got pumped by 48-6, so yuck. But 35 tackles for 4 misses. About what you expect in this type of game. So take the 40 he played, and we move on from that result, because he is not the worst out of all this, that's for sure. Taruva there, 36 for him, if anyone has him. To'o with that one try, 34. So again, not a lot of good scores even for players you would hope for. And then Manu, 27, off in the 55th minute. Again, they were getting pumped, so he would end up at 40 odd. You could imagine. But a few tackle breaks in there. Mitch Kenny, another low one for him, which is sad. Sonny Luke, 27, so he got involved, ran the ball a bit, offloaded, got a try assist as well. Good stuff. Zachary Hosking, so 26 and 31 minutes. He was going great. Very happy with his output. He was running the ball. He had that couple of tackle breaks, which was good. Had a kick defusal. Bit of everything, which was good. No missed tackles. Yeah. And that was all. That was all she wrote. So for those that don't have him, I think he's owned by 75% of the top 5,000 or something. So there are a chunk that don't, and lucky you. I don't know. Like what do we say? Apparently he passed his HIA and didn't get back on the field. So that's where we're at last night. You sure you can see the death in my eyes. That's where we're at. When Teddy's out there not scoring a single point for a majority of the two halves, I should say. And then Hosking's edge, waiting in the wings, and Isaiah Yo's playing 80 minutes again. I was like, yeah, beautiful. He must have had some kind of symptoms. Otherwise, like even passing the HIA. Otherwise, why would you keep him on the bench? I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, we need him back next week. Let's say that, because I think a lot of people would look to sell him, and fair enough. He'll start to lose money now, which is the issue. Obviously, that 60 odd last week is going to help with that. These break even, but yeah, not good overall at all. So Ali 18, Barlow there 14, Tedesco 13. Let's finish with him because I'm sad. Let's be honest. 13. Is he done? I think so. It is the Panthers. Like, you got to note that none of the outside backs were going to do really well against the Panthers. It just doesn't really happen. Like, even when they're not playing great, the Panthers, their defense is always awesome. And their outside back defense is always good. But Teddy, to not have a touch, not have a run in the first... Well, he picked it up once off like a crappy kick. And then he kicked it on first when they reset the tackle count. But have you seen a fullback like that just not be involved? And doesn't... Like, it seems that they kick to their left edge corner. So they kick to... who's out there? Allen. They kick to Corey Allen a lot. Fair enough. I would too. And then Teddy would just not make a hit up that set. I was like, okay, that's nice. That's exactly what we want. He might be done. And next week it might be hard to trade him out when you got Joey Manu on the sidelines, but likely. And who are the options, really? Like, Walsh, if he doesn't play Origin, but if he plays Origin, it's one more week. Drinky, we'll see how he goes today or tomorrow. There's not a lot, but I suppose that's the only thing saving us as Teddy owners is that he's been okay. Like, he's averaging 36.6 this year. That's disgusting. So he may be done, guys, and he might come back. But even when we picked him up, he didn't look that bad. He was just having a bit of a slow start because the Roosters were having a slow start. And now it's like, yeah, they're playing bad, but he doesn't look any better. So people are saying, oh, is he going to get picked for Origin? Yes, he'll get picked for Origin. If they lose the first couple of games or something like that, then and he's still playing poor or whatever, then yeah, there's that too. But it's not like he's making lots of errors and doing anything too bad. He looks really frustrated out there, is something I will say. Not often you see someone from the other team go through that middle, step him, or he's running that way with the play, and then they do a step back on the inside, or like turn one under and go straight through, and they've beat him, and he's just like, ugh. You never really see him do that. So this team's in disarray at the moment. I'm not sure what else to say. This next team list and next buy, hold, risk it, sell is going to be crazy. So yeah, there's not much else to say on that one. Well played to the Panthers. They're at home, back in a big way. So good work for them. This one was a much better game. The Warriors and the Dogs, and we had one trade in, which worked out solidly, I think. But the worry here is actually just the Dogs and their ability to win a football match. Not really happening, which is not good. And we'll speak on that man right now, and that's Kala Loapu. So I brought him in. He got the 56 minutes. So he came on a little bit early. I was excited by that. Did have 2 turnover tackles, which was lovely. But he would have scored about the same that he did last week, that 21, without those turnover tackles. But he gets credit to them, and they happened. It was actually really good. There was 2 plays in a row, basically, where TPJ just gave the ball to Sean Johnson, like thinking you would get a penalty, and like Johnson was just like, you were just getting back up to your feet, and he's just hanging there, and he just goes, "Yep, here you go." And I was like, "Oh, it's the easiest 4 points I've ever received." Thank you, TPJ, and an error for him. And then Oluwapu, there was one they challenged when he's tackled him over the top, and you can see the ball clearly, and the hand just falls away a little bit. I was like, "Yep, 4 points for Oluwapu, beautiful." So this game was much better. The other one sucked. Anyway, so Carl, he'll make a bit of money off that now, which is good. Probably get close to 20k on that one this week, so 270, and then that starts to get the ball rolling a bit. You need some scores around that 30 mark for these cheap guys to really just get things going, and you had a break even about 10, so somewhere around the 20k mark will work out well in that one. Let's head back to the top, and I just want to talk about the great man, Sean Johnson, and to average 62.5 across this season, 2 massive scores in a row. We're really going to miss him next week. That's the other thing. You've got him out along with Manu and potentially Hosking, and Teddy needs to go. It's a mess already. There's 3 games in, it's an absolute mess. So, I'm just going to sit in it for a little bit there, Hank. Sean Johnson, 71. He's just great. There's not much else to say. He had 2 missed tackles. That was his only negatives. Kicked for 771 metres again. Forced dropouts. Try assists. Love watching him play. A couple of people I know actually brought in Harrison Edwards. So, that was an interesting one. He ended up getting 68 minutes and a try. So, 48 tackles, 1 missed tackle. That was the only negative in his game. So well done to Harrison. If you decide to do that, that was a masterstroke, I suppose. But is he likely to be playing in round 14? Like, he misses 13. Is he likely to be there in 14? I don't know. He's been on the kind of reserves every second week. So that's that. Speak about Tohu, and he's going to be a clear buy, I think, guys, in round 13. He'll only go up about 15 or so K because his break even was just over 50. So he's just amazing, and he just churns out that 80 minutes every week. And if it continues to follow to wins, then he'll continue to do this. And just 2 missed tackles and error, but 64 in base, just incredible each and every week. So well done to Tohu and anyone who decided just to pull the trigger this week and grab him in their side. You were rewarded with a cracker score. Matty Burton, 63, did his job, bit of everything. The job he didn't do though was winning the football match. So that's the thing there. Oh yeah, so one thing I want to say with Oluwapu is this: if the Dogs continue to lose, it's going to go one of 2 ways. He's either going to get dropped back to reserves, which I don't think he should. I think he's been playing solidly enough, or they just give him the keys, give him the 80 minutes, and go from there. Both 2 options, both equally as likely. I think they need to do something in this Dogs team, but I don't know if that there is the issue. They've changed Flanagan, and they still continue to lose, so maybe it's not Flanagan, maybe it's just the rest of the team and their efforts through the middle, and obviously their merry-go-round of middles, obviously not having Addo Carr. It's going to be interesting to see what that looks like next week, and then they might make a decision from after the bye. But yeah, that's something to think about. If Oluwapu ends up getting 80 minutes or if he gets sent out of the team. But who are they going to play there? Reynolds? I don't know, don't think so. Fenua Blake, another try in this one. Got the less minutes, thankfully for them, didn't need to play him heavy. I think he had about 20-ish minutes off, and then didn't play the last bunch either when they were up big. So good stuff for Adam Fenua Blake. And just continues to score tries. He's amazing. Josh Curran, 57, so he did well. 8 missed tackles though, not good. But yeah, good base and some good attacking stats there to get his score if you own him. Well done. Okunbor had a big game through the middle, so that was unexpected. Reid Marnie, 53 with a try assist. Tried to get his 40-20s standard, did not happen. But 3 missed tackles and 2 penalties, not as bad. I think he's averaging just over 5 missed tackles a game. So well done, Reedy. Got the 53, price under that, which is good. getting what you want out of these players. And speaking of getting what you want out of players, a little bit late, Alamotti. We all traded you in the last bunch of weeks, and so I saw some people had to hold, and a couple of people in my private group had to, like, it was like an option between looping them or not. And I was like, loop him, please. Like, out of all the options, I think they had, that he was clearly the best and had the most chance to do well against a Warriors team that's solid. But, you know, if he can get a try, if he can do some good things, then he's sweet. He actually had a couple of good try-saving tackles. There's one that SJ put one of the boys through, whoever the right centre is, I can't remember. Rocco Berry it was at the time. And Alamotti just had a nice grass-cutting saving tackle there in that one. So, yeah, 20 tackles, 2 misses. Way better than normal. 7 tackle breaks, 128 metres, an offload as well, and get out of in-goal. So everything happened in this game for Alamotti, and he will make a little bit of money. So, yay. Maybe, just. I think he had a pretty high break even. That's for sure. Walker's there, 45. Preston, 45. So about what we expected from him, guys. So he's priced according to that. No issues with that score. Just wasn't much for him in this one. Had a line break assist. No tackle breaks. An offload to hand. So that's that. Well done to Blakey Wilson for his debut. 43. He started very, very low the first sort of half or so. I think he was on 6 or 7 at half time. And then he got 11 tackle breaks. 197 metres with 8 line breaks. So, yeah, worked out well. He won't keep his spot, so not really of any relevance until he gets some more further injuries. But yeah, he did his spot no harm, I don't think. Had a weird error at the start with his penalty, tackling whoever it was in the air. But yeah, since then he was good. Pangai, 40 and 40. Not great. For those still looking at him, offloads, there's just one there. There's just not exactly what you need out of him. He seems to run directly straight. He's not doing his crab runs, which is what you want. You know, guys like what Jack Bird and stuff does, the bump offs, he's just running dead straight, which is better for the team, I think, in the long run, but yeah, for the most part. But sometimes you'll have to do a little bit of that. A couple of, you know, even if you're running at an angle and palming off, I think that's going to be helpful for their side. A couple of palm offs and an offload. He just put that away, which is weird. Parham, 38 in that one. Solid. 243 run meters, just keeps doing that. 182 to 200, 220, 240. He's been great. And Pango, guys, and a lot of people are actually speaking about, he's getting to a cheap price to pick him up, but when's he going to score well? I need to see him score well before anything. Apparently, yeah, good hold, doing well. Carraz looked a lot better, guys. So, again, that 37 drops his price a bit. And let's look at him in round 14 for sure. Nickel Klukstar, so 37 for him. Again, solid, big run meters, so very similar to that of Perham. Did his job and helped them win, but no attacking stats. There we had Averillo, 37, Waddell, 33. For those that have Averillo, I know there's a couple, 37. Niokore, 29, so he had a low score as well. He'll start to lose a little bit of money. Fatala Mariner, 34 minutes, so we spoke about him as a potential option. It was a bit of a no. Historical PPM, not high. Had low minutes in this one, but PPM was still good. Strange. Is what it is. Bunty Afar, 29 minutes, a little bit annoying. If you owned him, you expect some more in that starting role, like at least an extra big stint, like getting to 40 would be nice because PPM is always great. Vulcan going to try, that was good to see. Watini Lesniak as well. Rocco Berry, welcome back to the NRL, our best selection at the start of last year, for those that know. You know, Tom Ale, 21 minutes. So, yes, this is where the issue was with getting Tom. So, actually, someone in my YouTube comments or something like that said, or Facebook group said that they traded Tom Ale to Harrison Edwards. So that's called a turnaround. 15 into 70. Wow, incredible. Pele with 10 minutes. Weird how they're using him. He looks pretty solid when he runs a footy. Did have one missed tackle, but that's that. You kind of need those type of players, I think, to play a few more minutes just to get something out of them. Obviously, like, he has X Factor, so that's that. And then Reynolds just not doing a lot when he's on the park, to be honest with you. 3 missed tackles and a penalty. And him in that strip, as soon as they challenged it, it was just like, and as soon as you saw Reynolds with his arm going over the top, you're like, okay, he's 100% stripping it. So, especially when the ref gave it a no try straight away. So, let's hope for a better Saturday worth of games. Our people squad is killing it. They're on like 570 already. Obviously, no Hines, Captain Cleary, Walsh, Haas, Preston, no Teddy. Hosking? Might try it out, Hosking. Ooh, I can't remember. We'll check. Anyway, yeah, good luck with your Saturday games, guys, and the rest of your squad. It'll definitely be a Red Arrows week for me, I think, with Teddy going so low. I know he's still owned by 50%. You've got Hosking going by 75%. Yeah, if Hines comes out and gets 80 plus, then I think we'll be okay. But if he doesn't, I think we're cooked with the captaincy. And then, who else? Dennis Smith was okay, and he's owned by a high percentage anyway, so That's fine. But yeah, I haven't had any big scores yet, which is not good. So that's that, guys. Catch you in the next one.